Hello students, a very good morning to one and all. Welcome back to SISYA class. Today we are going to have a topic on life process. Okay, everyone are aware of life process. What is life process? Anyone have any idea regarding to the life process? Why it is important? Anyone have any idea? Okay, let us see on our today's class each and every point. Let us learn in a simple way with simple techniques. Okay. And before starting the class, let me introduce myself. I am Sheila Dikshit and I have done my masters from Andhra University and I have 2+ of years of experience. Okay students, let's have a class. And in today's class, we are covering the topics regarding to the nutrition. Okay, under nutrition, the human digestive system is an example. We will learn about the nutrition that happens in plants as well as in animals, and the respiration process and transportation and excretion. These are all the topics that we will learn in our today's class, and I will give you a simple technique to remember all these 4 life processes. Like, remember rent. When we are live in a rental house, what we will pay? We will pay rent. So this is how you have to remember the word rent. In rent, R stands for respiration and E stands for excretion and N stands for nutrition and T stands for transportation. So these are the 4 basic life processes that happens in every living organisms. Let us learn each and everything in our today's class. The first thing is why life process is very important to every living organism. While coming to non-living organisms, why it is important for only living organisms? Anyone have any idea? Because life is possible only for the living organisms, not for the non-living organisms. It will be happen only in the living organisms. Hence, there are 4 important life processes that happens in every living organism, right? And every living organisms are made up of cells. There are millions and trillions of cells are present in every living organism, and every living organism is made up of a cell. Hence, a cell is called as a basic unit of life and fundamental unit of life. And cells are living units and they require And cells are the living units and they require a continuous supply of energy. How they will get energy? When we are talking, we need energy. When we are sleeping, we need energy. When we are eating also, we need energy. Then how we are getting all this energy to our body to conduct every life process that happens in a living organism? Okay, let us see how it happens and the energy that required for every living organism for our body movement. Like when we are running, we need energy. When we are walking, we need energy. Okay, when we are growing also, our cells need energy. And we have any damaged tissues or any repaired tissues, we need energy. And for reproduction process, we need energy. And for maintenance of our body, we need energy. Maintenance of external conditions, maintenance of internal conditions, we need energy. Such temperature and water balances, these are all we need energy, and these are the important things we have to learn in our today's class regarding to the life process. Okay, there are 4 main life processes that happens in every living organism. What are the 4 main living life processes? We remember the code. What is the mnemonic that we learned? Rent, right? One is R stands for respiration and E stands for excretion and N stands for nutrition and T stands for transportation. These are very important life processes that happens in every living organism. Okay students, remember it is very important. What are the 4 fundamental most important life processes here? One is nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. Let us learn first of all about the nutrition. Okay, what is nutrition? We are learning from our lower grades. From our lower grades, we are learning about the food we are eating. First thing we will learn about the most favorite foods that we are eating, and after the energy giving foods, the protective foods, the body building foods. This are all comes under nutrition, right? We are learning from our lower grades, and it is very easy for everyone to remember the definition for nutrition. So nutrition is nothing but it is the process by which living organisms takes in food. Why we will take in food? To get energy, right? Absolutely, to get energy. And this energy will help our body to grow, to repair the damaged tissues, and the maintenance of whole body processes, right? Nutrition is nothing but the food that we are taking in and converting it into energy for our growth, for body repair and maintenance of the whole body functions. And this is about nutrition. And why we need food? Why we need food and why we eat food? It is nothing but food is required for every living organism because it provides energy. Yes, it is the main thing that we are getting from our food. When we are eating, we are getting energy, and it performs life activities. The energy that we are getting, and it helps us to perform the activities that we are following, and it helps in growth and development of the body. We are like to grow tall. We are not like to be a short, right? And it helps in growth and development of the body, and it repairs the damaged and worn out cells also. Okay, when we get any injury, it will be like same, or it will be cured for some time. It will be cured for some days, after it will be cured. So these are all the things will be happen when we have enough sufficient nutrients and energy in our body, and it will helps in maintenance resistance against diseases. Okay, it also helps to fight against the diseases, and it will protect our body from invading unwanted microorganisms when they enter into our body. And there are two modes of nutrition that happens in every living organism. I am talking about only living organisms, not about non-living things, right students? There are two modes of nutrition, like one is autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. We are all familiar with the word of autotrophic nutrition because we are learning from our 6th grade onwards. What do you mean by auto and trophy here, students? It's very simple, right? Let us see in each, like in a detailed way. While coming to autotrophic nutrition, here it is the mode of nutrition. Okay, it is the mode of nutrition where the organisms prepare their own food. They will not depend on other organisms. They will prepare their own food material by depending on sunlight, and there are some other raw materials for the preparation of their food material. Hence, they won't depend on other organisms. Okay, they will not depend on other organisms. Hence, they will prepare their own food material. Hence, they are called as autotrophs, and the type of mode of nutrition is called as autotrophic nutrition. And examples for this autotrophic nutrition are green plants. Why only green plants here? Because there is an important pigment. What is that pigment? Chlorophyll. With the help of chlorophyll, with the presence of chlorophyll, plants prepare their own food material. And there is an algae. Algae also contain this pigment, hence they participate in the preparation of food material without depending on other organisms. And there are some bacteria show autotrophic nutrition. So these are all the examples that we can remember about the autotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay students, remember it is very important. What is autotrophic nutrition? Autotrophic nutrition is nothing but, in simple words you have to remember, it does not depend on other organisms. It can prepare its own food material without depending on other organisms, and the main pigment here is the chlorophyll pigment. What are the examples here? Green plants, algae, and some other bacteria which participates in autotrophic nutrition. This is about autotrophic. And while coming to heterotrophic nutrition, here hetero means what students? They will depend on other organisms. Hetero means other. Okay, hetero means other. They will depend on other organisms for food. They can't prepare their food material. They can't prepare their own food material. Hence, they will depend on other organisms for food because they need energy. They have to survive. They have to participate in life activities. They need energy for their body. Hence, they depend on other organisms for food. Hence, they can't prepare their own food material. And what are the examples? The example for heterotrophic nutrition is humans is an example, animals, fungi and many other some microorganisms and bacteria show this heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Right? What are the modes of nutrition we learn here? There are two modes of nutrition. One is autotrophic. Here auto means self, okay, and trophy means nutrition, feeder, synthesis, okay, many meanings we can see here. Like they prepare their own food material, we call it as an autotrophic mode of nutrition. And while coming to heterotrophic mode of nutrition, they depend on other organisms for food. They can't prepare their own food material, hence they depend on other organisms for food material. Okay, remember students, these are the two modes of nutrition. And while coming to heterotrophic nutrition, we can see some more nutrition that comes under heterotrophs, like holozoic nutrition. There are three main types of heterotrophic nutrition, like holozoic nutrition. In this nutrition, organisms take the solid or liquid food items and they digest it. When the food is digested, they will absorb the nutrients that present in the food materials and they again remove the undigested waste materials from outside of, they will remove outside. Okay, this is how the holozoic nutrition will be happen. They will take in the food and they will digest the food and then after they will absorb the nutrients from the digested food and the remaining undigested waste material will be excreted from our body. And this is comes under holozoic nutrition. And the example for holozoic nutrition, what is the example? We are the humans. Okay, we are the humans. Examples for heterotrophic like holozoic nutrition. And while coming to saprophytic, what is saprophytic here? We all know about the saprotrophs. Saprotrophs are nothing but the organisms which feed on dead matter. Okay, dead and decaying organic matter. Hence, the type of mode of nutrition where the organisms feed on the dead and decaying matter comes under saprophytic nutrition. And they secrete digestive enzymes, okay, outside the body and they absorb the dissolved nutrients which are present in the like dead and decaying matter. And some fungi is an example, bacteria, okay, these are the examples for saprotrophic nutrition, okay, saprophytic nutrition. And another mode of nutrition that comes under heterotrophic nutrition is parasitic nutrition. What is parasitic here? Parasites are nothing but these are the organisms which need a host organism to live. Like they live on or inside, okay, they will live inside on another organism for their shelter, for their food, for their energy, for their survival. Hence they need a host to survive. Hence this mode of nutrition is called as parasitic nutrition. The parasite harms the host and here parasite will get benefited and the host will get affected. Okay, only one organism is, okay, only one organism is benefited here. Okay, both organisms are not benefited here, only one organism is benefited here. Another organism get affected and host, okay, host will be get affected here, okay, and the parasite is benefited here. No one, both are not get benefited here, only one is benefited here, it is parasite. And examples like tapeworm, lice, leech, these are all the examples for parasitic nutrition. Okay students, let us see about the photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis is an important topic that comes under the plant nutrition, right? Autotrophic nutrition, how they will prepare the food material. Here plants prepare the food material, the main sources like sunlight. Okay, they need sunlight. Here photo means light and synthesis means preparation of food material. Okay, that comes under. And here photo means sunlight. With the help of sunlight, the plants prepare their food material and the plants should be green plants. Okay, green plants contain which pigment? They contain chlorophyll pigment. This pigment helps in the preparation of food material, helps and absorption of sunlight, hence participates in the photosynthesis process and further they will prepare their own food material. Right, this is the photosynthesis. And the chemical equation of photosynthesis, like chemical equation of photosynthesis explains how the green plants prepare their own food material and using some raw materials like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. This all happens only in the presence of sunlight. We all do some different types of activities and experiments in our school, right? And we will use some iodine solution and we will conduct that experiment whether the starch is present, whether the starch is absent, which place the food is developed, which place the food is absent. This is how we conducted many experiments in our schools, like where the photosynthesis is happened in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll pigment. This is how the chemical equation it is represent like 6CO2 plus 6H2O in the chemical reaction of sunlight and chlorophyll gives us C6H12O6 glucose plus 6O2. This is the chemical equation of photosynthesis. And students, this is very important. In the previous exams, most of this topic has been picked and questions have been asked. Like what are the raw materials required for 2 marks questions, 3 marks questions and for objective questions. This is asked frequently. So you have to make it thoroughly to read and practice on these topics like raw materials required for photosynthesis. It's very important, students. What are the raw materials required for photosynthesis? When we prepare a biryani or some dish item, what we will use? We will use some different types of ingredients to get a taste and to get a final product, right? In the same way, the plants also need some raw materials. What are the raw materials here? Like some carbon dioxide is obtained from the atmosphere. The atmosphere is nothing but the mixture of gases that we breathe, right? The mixture of gases contains some carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen, hence we call it as a simple way air. And these air through tiny pores called stomata. The exchange of gases. Where the exchange of gases will happen in the plants? The exchange of gases that happens in the plants with the help of stomata. Stomata, where we can see here, these are the tiny pores on the surface of the leaf. Okay, we can see these stomata like small tiny pores we can observe on the surface of the leaves. These tiny pores are called as stomata. Okay, these stomata help in the exchange of gases. They will help in the exchange of gases present on the leaves. And another raw material. What is the another raw material here? One is carbon dioxide we learned. Another one is water. And where the water is absorbed? From the soil with the help of roots. Roots also contain small roots. Okay. These root hairs. Small root hairs that present in the roots helps in the absorption of water that present in the soil. And this again transported throughout the plant with the help of vascular tissues. What are the vascular tissues here? There are 2 different types of vascular tissues. Yes, we will learn further. Wait for that time. And here there are vascular tissues which helps in the transportation of water. It is nothing but xylem. And while coming to sunlight, it is also another raw material. Okay, one is carbon dioxide, one is water, another one is sunlight. Sunlight is obtained from the sun. Where it will obtain? It will obtain from sun and it gives us energy. It will provide lot of energy to participate in the reaction, the photosynthesis. And another most important pigment, the most important pigment, it is chlorophyll. Okay, it is another raw material. It is the green color pigment present in the chloroplast. Okay, it is present in the area of chloroplast that absorbs the sunlight, helps in further production and synthesis and preparation of food materials. This is whole about the raw materials required for photosynthesis. Okay students, till now we learned about the photosynthesis, the chemical equation and the autotrophic mode of nutrition and the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. And while coming to heterotrophic mode of nutrition, human digestive system is an example that comes under heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Let us see what is digestion here. What is digestion? Digestion is nothing but it is the process of breaking down of food. Okay, it is breaking down of food that we eat into a simple substances. Okay, into a simple substances. We take food materials in a complex way, and these food materials will be break down into a simple substances and soluble substances so that we can absorb the nutrients to whole our body. Right? This is simple definition regarding to the digestion. And what are the organs that participates in digestion process? What are the organs present? What are the parts are present in human digestive system? Let us see each and one. First one is mouth. This is the part where the first digestion will be happen. Okay, the questions will be asked where what is the part where the first digestion will be happen. Okay, this is how the questions are framed. Like, what is the first part the digestion happens? It is none other but mouth. The first digestion happens in the mouth with the help of tongue, with the help of saliva, with the help of teeth. Okay, different types of salivary enzymes are released for the digestion of food materials, and we take food through our mouth. The food enters into our body with the help of our mouth, and the teeth that are present inside our mouth helps to break down the food material into small pieces. We will chew the food material, right? Our parents will tell chew the food and eat slowly. Why they will tell? To have a proper digestion, right? To have a proper digestion, we have to chew the food material, and after we have a secretion of saliva in our mouth. What is the function of the saliva that's secreted in our mouth? To keep our mouth wet? No, it will releases different types of salivary enzymes. Okay, different types of enzymes are released in our mouth. These enzymes helps in the breakdown of food. Okay, these enzymes helps in the breakdown of food into some simple substances, right? And this enzyme name is amylase, salivary amylase. This salivary amylase converts the starch. Okay, the food materials that we are taking contains starch. This starch is break down into sugar. Okay, it is break down into a sugar, and this is the first organ where the first digestion happens in our mouth. The second one is esophagus. Okay, it is a tube-like structure. It is a tube-like structure that connects from our mouth to the stomach, right? And the food that we eat will slowly move down with the rhythmic contractions called peristalsis movement. Okay, what is the movement where the food moves from our mouth region to the stomach? There is a tube-like connection called, it is the rhythmic contraction will be happen, and it will slowly moves down into the stomach region. Hence, with the movement of peristalsis. Okay, it is the movement of peristalsis where the food will move down to the stomach region. And no digestion occurs here. It is very important, students. There some questions are framed which part the digestion will not happen. Okay, there are some digestive parts, digestive organs are there. In that, esophagus is also a part where the digestive system comes under, and where what is the part or which is the part where the digestion process does not occur, they will ask. Then what you will have to keep? You will have to keep mouth? No, you have to keep esophagus. Okay, esophagus is the correct answer. And here no digestion process will be happen, and with the help of rhythmic contractions the food will move down from mouth to the region of stomach. And the next organ is stomach. Okay, we all like our stomach because it will stores our favorite food when we eat, right? And the stomach secretes, okay, it will secretes the most acidic nature. Okay, what is that liquid? Hydrochloric acid. It is very acidic in nature, and the pepsin, mucus, these are all the things that secreted in the stomach. And hydrochloric acid may kills the different types harmful of bacteria that enters into our stomach with the food that we are taking. Okay, food contains different types of things. Along with that food, different types of bacteria may enter. Okay, these bacteria is killed by this hydrochloric acid, HCl. With the help of HCl, bacteria are killed that present in our stomach and provides acidic medium for the digestion and breakdown of food that we take in, right? And the mucus will be present in the walls. It will be secreted in the walls of the stomach. Hence, it will protect from the hydrochloric acid. Okay, HCl can affect our walls of the stomach. So, this mucus will be situated in the walls of the stomach from protecting from the HCl acid. Okay, from protecting from the hydrochloric acid to the walls of the stomach. And pepsin, while coming to pepsin, it will digest the proteins that we are eating, that the proteins, where the proteins are present in some chicken, meat item, legs, right? And dal, different types of food items contain proteins, and these proteins will be break down with the help of this enzyme called pepsin. This is whole about stomach. And while coming to small intestine, it is the long coiled tube. Okay, it is the long coiled tube with the length of 7.5 meters. Okay, it is the longest coiled tube that present in our alimentary canal. And there are different types of bile juices, like different types of intestinal juices are released in small intestine, and while coming to bile, it is secreted from the liver. Liver secretes bile juice. These bile juice helps in the breakdown of fats. Okay, it will helps in the emulsification of fats that present in our food, that present in our body. And some pancreatic juices and intestinal enzymes helps in the complete digestion of food that we take in with our food mouth, right? And there is an organ that present in small intestine. It is villi, a finger like projections that we can see here, finger like projections like villi. It will helps in the absorption of nutrients. The nutrients that we take, the nutrients that present in our food are absorbed, where these are all absorbed with the help of this villi. Where it is present in the small intestine. It will help in the absorption of nutrients, and it will again supplies into the blood. Okay, it will again supplies into the blood. And then the next one is large intestine, right? The large intestine absorbs. What is the function of the large intestine? The last organ of our alimentary canal, where the digestion process will be happen. Okay, the absorption of water, the undigested food, the remaining food material will be sent to the large intestine, and this large intestine helps in the absorption of water and the salts from the remaining undigested food, right? And it forms some feces which are removed through the anus. The undigested food will be removed through the anus, and the whole digestion process will be completed in the end of large intestine, right? And I will give you some trick to remember. Like students, there are 5 important steps are involved in our whole digestion process. Like 5 steps are involved in our digestive system for the digestion of process. And the first one is like ingestion, right? We will take our food through our mouth. Simply it is called as ingestion. And second one is digestion, right? And the third one is, what is the third one? After digestion, what will happen? The food will be absorbed, absorption. And the next fourth one is, the absorbed nutrients will be supplied throughout our body with the blood, hence it is called as assimilation. And the fifth step is, what is the fifth step? The last undigested food is removed out of our body, ejected from our body, hence it is called as ejection, right? And there is a simple trick that we can remember, like India base. Okay, India base, like in India, IN stands for ingestion. The food that we take in is called as ingestion. And in India, DI stands for digestion. It is the second step that happens in the digestion process. And in AB stands for absorption. The food that we take in contains lot of nutrients that needed for our body, hence are absorbed with the help of villi. And in base, like AS stands for assimilation. It will be supplied, the nutrients are supplied with the help of bloodstream throughout our body. It is called as assimilation. And the last E stands for ejection. Okay, the undigested food will be ejected from our body. Okay, this is how you have to remember the 5 important steps that happens in our digestive system. Okay, let us see the another important life process, that is respiration. What is respiration? That we breathe in, that we breathe out, simply it is called as respiration? No, there is a process that happens inside our body. Let us see about it. While coming to respiration, it is a life process by which living organisms release energy. We all think that respiration is nothing but the breathing in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide. It is not. Okay, it is not. There is something happens inside our body. It will help to release the energy that we taking food. We are taking in food, right? And we are getting energy. This will happen with the process of respiration. This respiration process help us to release the energy that we are taking from our food, right? And there are two different types of respiration process like breathing and respiration. Okay, what is the differences between breathing and respiration? We all think breathing and respiration both are same because we are breathing and we are breathing out. Respiration and breathing comes under same, but it is quite different from each other. Breathing is a physical process. Okay, we will breathe in. Okay, it is a physical process and it does not release any energy. Remember students, here when we are breathing, it does not release any energy. Okay, it does not release energy. While coming to respiration, it is a chemical process, hence the energy is released. Okay, in physical process, no energy is released. While coming to in chemical process, energy is released. Okay, energy is released. And while coming to breathing, it will occur in some respiratory organs such as lungs, while respiration occurs inside the cells. Okay, breathing occurs outside, physical. So such as lungs it will happen, but respiration is a chemical process that happens inside our cells. So the breathing can be controlled. The breathing can be controlled for short time. When we are swimming in the water, we will control our breathe. But while coming to respiration, we can control. No, we cannot control the respiration process because it happens inside the cells. Because it happens inside the cells, we can't control the respiration process. But the breathing process can be controlled for a short time, not for a longer time. Okay, only for short time. And there are two different types of respirations are there here. They are very important. One is aerobic respiration, another one is anaerobic respiration. These are the questions that most frequently asked in our exams, because you have students, please concentrate on these two important topics, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Okay, these are the two important things. And while coming to aerobic respiration, it happens in the presence of oxygen, right? It happens in the presence of oxygen. And while coming to anaerobic respiration, it will be happens in the absence of oxygen. These are the two important things you have to remember about the aerobic and anaerobic respiration. While coming to aerobic respiration, it is the process of respiration that occurs only in the presence of oxygen. We already know that aerobic respiration happens only in the presence of oxygen. And in this process, glucose, okay, the glucose that present in our food, in our body is completely broken down into carbon dioxide and water. Okay, it will broken down into carbon dioxide and water. And while coming to the food, okay, the large energy is released. Okay, in aerobic respiration, 38 ATP. 38 ATP is released. In aerobic respiration, large amount of energy. Large amount of energy means more energy is released during aerobic respiration. Hence, it happens in the mitochondria of cells. We call it as a powerhouse of our cell, right? In cell organelles, in the topic cell organelles, we all learned about mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell or energy currency of the cell, right? So, this aerobic respiration mainly where it mainly occurs in the mitochondria of the cells. And the chemical equation of aerobic respiration is here. When glucose plus oxygen, it will releases, broken down and releases carbon dioxide, water and plus energy. This is the chemical equation regarding to the aerobic respiration. And while coming to anaerobic respiration, it will happen in the absence of oxygen, we all know. It will happen in the absence of oxygen, and in this process glucose is partially broken down. Okay, it will breaks down the glucose into a partial way and less energy is released. While coming to aerobic respiration, more energy is released. We already know the exact amount, 38 ATP. And while coming to anaerobic respiration, only 2 ATP is released. See how much variation we can find here. 38 ATP and here only 2 ATP is released. Less energy is released during anaerobic respiration. And in the yeast we can find this anaerobic respiration like in some yeast cells, okay, yeast organ, yeast. And anaerobic respiration produces, what is the products that we can find in anaerobic respiration here? Alcohol and some carbon dioxide we can find in anaerobic respiration. And for sometimes we can see this anaerobic respiration in our body, in our human body, right? Human muscles sometimes face and happens this anaerobic respiration produces some lactic acid. When we are doing heavy exercises or when we are walking fastly or when we are running, okay, when we are lifting the heavy objects, how we will feel? We will feel our muscles are paining, right? Why these muscles are getting pain? Only due to the formation of lactic acid. And why this lactic acid is formed here? Due to the respiration of anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration happens when there is an absence of oxygen, when we are doing heavy exercises, when we are jogging, when we are walking, when we are running, jumping, there is a less supply of oxygen to that particular muscle or to that particular organ. Hence at that organ and hence at that muscle, the respiration process happens anaerobic respiration and produces lactic acid, hence we will feel some muscle cramps, right? This is what about anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. And let us see about the human respiratory system. While coming to the human respiratory system, it is a group of organs that work together, help in the breathing and exchange of gases, both inhalation and exhalation will be happen here. Okay, inhalation is nothing but breathing in oxygen, right? And exchange of gases is nothing but releasing out carbon dioxide, hence it is called as exhalation. And it helps in taking in oxygen into our body and removing out the carbon dioxide from our body. There are two terms like inhalation and exhalation, breathing in and breathing out. And the parts that involved in human respiratory system are the main parts that involved in human respiratory system is nose. Okay, with the help of nose we will breathe in, right? There are nostrils that present in the nose. With the help of nose we will breathe in, and the nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx and trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli and the lungs are the main important parts that comes under respiratory system, right? This is all about the respiratory system. These are the parts, okay students. And the most important thing I want to say you all, the diagrams are very, very important, right students? When you are writing an answer to a question, to a particular question, if there is a diagram you represented by doing some labeling parts, okay, by doing a nice diagram, you will get more score in your exams. It will be helpful and the question paper or the answer sheet will be very, very attracted by the examiners. Okay, there are chances to get more marks. So the most important thing you have to do in your exam is to attempt the diagrams for each and question that you are writing in your paper, right students? And while coming to nose and nasal cavity, these are the parts of our respiratory system. The air enters into our body with the help of our nose, right? There are the nostrils that present in our nose. These are the two nostrils that present in our nose, and these nostrils contain hair and mucus. When everyone observed in the mirror, okay, did you see your nose? There are some hair, there are some small hairs that present inside our nose. And what is the purpose of this hair present inside our nose? These hairs trap the dust particles. Okay, when we are breathing, there are so many dust particles mixed in the atmosphere, right? And they enter along with the oxygen. When we are breathing, they enter along with the oxygen into our body, inside our body. Hence these nostrils that present, okay, the hairs that present inside the nostrils will trap the dust particles and also harmful microorganisms. And the mucus, what is the function of the mucus that present in the nostrils? It will moistens the air when it is enters into our body. And the nasal cavity also warms the incoming air when they are entering to our body, okay? And pharynx. While coming to pharynx, this pharynx is a common passage, okay? It is a common passage for air as well as for food also. And it connects the nasal cavity to the larynx. And during swallowing the food, when we are swallowing the food does not enters into the respiratory tract because of the presence of epiglottis. Okay, we will call it as a food pipe, right? And windpipe, food pipe, there is both pipes are present in this region for both air and common passage for both air and food. It is the common passage, pharynx is the common passage. And when we are swallowing the food, while the food particles are not entering into our respiratory tract, means there is a organ called epiglottis present, and it will not allow the food particles into the respiratory system. And while coming to larynx, larynx is also called as the voice box. Many people have different types of voices, right? Bass voice is there, sweet voice is there, cute voice, different types of voices are there, and this voice is developed from this larynx. Okay, it helps in producing sound. When we are talking, their sound is produced. This sound is produced with the help of larynx. This larynx produces sound, and it also prevents the food entering into the trachea region. Okay, larynx also prevents the food entering into the trachea region. And while coming to the trachea, it is also called as windpipe. It is a long tube that carries air from the larynx to the lungs. Okay, how many lungs we have, students? 4 lungs. I have only 2 lungs, right? Everyone have only 2 lungs. It is supported by the C-shaped rings, okay, of cartilage, and the rings are like C-shaped cartilage rings. It is supported, and this rings prevents the trachea from collapsing during breathing. When we are breathing, this trachea prevents the collapsing, right? And the inner lining of the trachea has mucus, where this mucus, where it is present, first thing we learned in our digestive system. Digestive system, the stomach secretes mucus to protect from the hydrochloric acid. And the second thing where we learned about the mucus, in the nostrils. Nostrils, the mucus is present to moisten the air. And the third thing where we are learning mucus, and the trachea region also contains mucus, and there is an cilia to trap the dust particles. Okay, when we are breathing, many dust particles combine with the oxygen and they will try to enter into our body, and these are the organs which trap the dust particles and protect our inner organs. And the next part is bronchi. The trachea divides into 2 branches called bronchi. Okay, the trachea is further divided into 2 branches. What are the 2 branches here? Bronchi. And these each bronchus enter into one lung. Right? Each bronchus enters into one lung, and bronchi carry air into the lungs. Okay, the air that we are breathing will be carried inside the lungs with the help of this bronchi. Right? And this each bronchi will divide into smaller tubes called bronchioles. Okay, each bronchi is further divided into small tubes called bronchioles. These bronchioles carry air deeper into the lungs. Okay, it will again carry air deeper into the lungs. They finally opens into an air sacs. They will finally opens into an air sacs into the alveolar region. Okay, where the exchange of gases will be happen. We all think the exchange of gases will be happen within the lungs, but it is not at all true. The exchange of gases will be happen in the region of alveoli. And alveoli are the tiny thin-walled balloon-like air sacs that present ends of the bronchioles. Okay, they are present in the ends of the bronchioles. They are present at the ends of the bronchioles. And these are the sides. Okay, very important, where the exchange of gases will be happen. They will ask some MCQs regarding to these questions also, regarding to that part also, where the exchange of gases will be happen. They will give some examples. Option A, lungs. Option B, bronchioles. Option C, bronchi. Option D, alveoli. And what is the answer? What is the answer, students? The answer is alveoli. Okay, the exchange of gases will be happen in the side and in the region of alveoli. And each alveolus has very thin wall. Okay, the walls are very thin and is surrounded by a network of blood capillaries. And why these blood capillaries are present? These blood capillaries carries the oxygen, okay, and it will supply the oxygen to our blood. And oxygen from the air, it will diffuses into the blood. Diffusion process will be happen, and the oxygen that present in our body will be supplied into the blood, and this whole blood is supplied to our body with the help of bloodstream. The oxygen is carried. And what are the blood cells that carries the oxygen to our body? That are red blood cells. Okay, red blood cells will carry the oxygen to our body. And the carbon dioxide will also diffuses from the blood into the alveoli, and in return we will exhale it. We will breathe out. And the another organ is lungs. Lungs are the very spongy, elastic organs located in our chest cavity. And humans have a pair of lungs. Okay, we have a pair of lungs, and the right lung has 3 lobes and the left lung has only 2 lobes. Why the right lung has 3 lobes and left lung has only 2 lobes? Anyone have any idea? Why the right side has 3 lobes and the left side has only 2 lobes? Because our heart is situated here, right? Slightly it is notched at the left side of our lung, hence the space here occupied by the heart. Okay, hence the left lung has only 2 lobes, and while coming to right lung has only 3 lobes. And lungs are protected by the rib cage. Our body, that inner parts like lungs, okay, heart, these are all protected by the rib cage. And mechanism of breathing. What is the mechanism of breathing? Simply inhalation and exhalation. When we breathe in oxygen, it comes under inhalation. When we breathe out carbon dioxide, it comes under exhalation. It are the main important processes happens in the mechanism of breathing. And exchange of gases. Where the exchange of gases will be happen? It is an important site we already remembered. Alveoli. Exchange of gases will be happen in the site of alveoli. And oxygen moves from the alveoli into the blood due to higher concentration in the alveoli. It will be moves into the blood due to higher concentration that present in the alveolar region. And while coming to carbon dioxide, moves from the blood into alveoli. Okay, it will move from the blood into alveoli due to higher concentration in the blood. Here alveoli have higher concentration and here blood have higher concentration. And this process, whole process will be occurs by diffusion process, right? And breathing rate. While coming to breathing rate, how we will measure our breathing rate? The breathing rate is measured the number of breaths taken per minute. Okay, it will measure per minute that breathing that we are breathing per minute. It will take in the number of breaths that we are taking per minute. Okay, students, and a normal adult breathes. A normal adult, how many times a normal adult can breathe? 15 to 80 times. Okay, 15 to 18 times per minute at rest. Breathing rate increases. When the breathing rate will be increases? When we are doing heavy exercises like or picking some heavy objects, running, jumping, walking fastly may increases our breathing rate. And because why? Because means there will be requirement of more oxygen is there. Okay, there is a requirement of more oxygen, hence the breathing rate will be increased when we are doing exercises. And there are some disorders of respiratory system. What are the disorders we can find here in respiratory system is asthma. Okay, asthma is a condition in which the air passages becomes narrow. They will become narrow and causing difficulty in breathing. I think some asthma patients can know how they are facing difficulty in breathing because due to the narrow, okay, due to the passage will become narrow, hence they will feel difficulty in breathing. And these are some disorders of respiratory system. And inflammation of bronchitis. Okay, bronchitis is the inflammation of bronchi, and emphysema is the disease in which alveoli loses the elasticity. Okay, these are some disorders that we can find in the respiratory system. And let us see about another life process. Okay, another important life process, transportation. Okay, what do you mean by transportation here, students? And transportation is nothing but it is carried out by the circulatory system. In humans, transportation is carried out by the circulatory system. Okay, the circulation of blood that happens in our human body. And the circulatory system consists of what are the parts the circulatory system contains? It will contain heart, it will contain blood, and it will contain some blood cells, blood vessels. The system ensures continuous supply of oxygen and nutrient to all body cells and removal of waste products. What is the function of this transportation system? The main function of this transportation system is to supply of the oxygen and supply of the nutrients that required for our body, and the removal of waste products also, right? And the heart is called, what is heart is called as? It is called as pumping machine. Right, students? It is called as pumping machine of our body because it will pumps the blood to whole parts of our body, right? And while coming to the human heart, the heart is a very strong and muscular organ that acts as a pump, right? It acts as a pumping machine, hence it will pumps the blood to all parts of our body. And where it is located, we already talked, right? The lungs contain one, right lung contains 3 lobes and left lung contains 2 lobes. Why? Because it contains 2 lobes? Because In the chest cavity, the heart is slightly located towards the left side. Right? It is situated towards the left side. And the heart is about the size of our clenched fist. We already know our size, our heart size, right? We can't able to see our heart, but we can know the exact size of our heart. It is the size of our clenched fist. And it will pumps the blood continuously throughout the life without the rest. Okay, it will not take any rest. If it take rest, what will happen? Right? We all know what will happen. If it takes rest, what will happen? It no. But the heart will pumps without any taking rest. It will pumps the blood throughout our body, without taking any rest throughout our life. And let us see the structure of the heart here. The human heart contains 4 chambers. What are the 4 chambers that contain in the human heart? What are the 4 chambers present in our human heart? There are upper region and lower regions, and the 4 chambers here, the right atrium and the left atrium, and the right ventricle and the left ventricle. Right? These are the 4 chambers that present in our heart. And the upper 2 chambers are atria and the lower 2 chambers are the ventricles. And the right atrium, the function of the right atrium is to receive the deoxygenated blood from our body parts. Okay, it will receive the blood. It will receive the blood from our body parts. And right ventricle pumps the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Okay, the received blood will be pumped again towards the lungs, because lung is the organ where the purification of blood will be happen. Don't confuse here the heart. Everyone think the heart will purifies the blood and it supplies throughout our body. No, the heart will pumps only the blood. But the purification of blood will be happen in the organ of our lungs. And the left atrium receives the oxygenated blood. The right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood, and the left atrium will be receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs. And the left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood to the entire body. Our entire body needs oxygenated blood or deoxygenated blood. Our entire body needs oxygenated blood. Right? This oxygenated blood is supplied with the help of this left ventricle. And the walls of the left ventricle are thickest because it will pumps. They are thickest because it will pumps the blood to the whole body with a high pressure. They need high pressure to pump the blood throughout our body. And the valves, there are 4 valves that present in our heart. What are the 4 valves that present in our valves? There are tricuspid valve, right? Pulmonary valve, aortic valve. Right? These are the valves that present in our heart. These valves prevent the backflow of the blood. Okay, these are the regions where the valves are present. They will prevent the backflow of the blood. Right? The valves, the function of the valves are, they will prevent the backflow of the blood. And humans have double circulatory system. Why we will call it as a double circulatory system? Because humans show double circulation. In a one circulatory system, in a double circulation, blood will passes through the heart twice in a complete cycle. How many times they will move? The blood will move through the heart twice in one complete cycle. The blood will move twice. Hence we call it as a double circulatory system and double circulation. And this includes pulmonary circulation. Why we will call it as a pulmonary circulation? Because lungs also participates in the purification of blood. And systematic circulation. This is called pulmonary circulation and systematic circulation. And double circulation ensures the efficiency of supply of oxygen to the body. Okay, hence the oxygen will be supplied with the help of the blood. The blood cells that are present in our body, like RBC, will carry the oxygen throughout our body. And when coming to the blood is a fluid connective tissue that flows through the blood vessels. It helps in transporting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, right, and waste materials. Blood consists plasma and blood cells. What are the blood cells that are present in blood? There are different types of blood cells that we can see, like white blood cells are there, red blood cells are there, and what are the function of platelets are there. What are these functions? Red blood cells carry the oxygen, and while coming to white blood cells, it will help in the to protect, to fight against the diseases. And while coming to platelets, it will clot the blood when we are get any injury. Right. And yes, we already know that red blood cells contain hemoglobin and it will transport oxygen from the lungs to tissues. White blood cells, it will protect from diseases, any bacteria or microorganisms, unwanted bacteria or unwanted microorganisms. When they enter into our body, these white blood cells fight against that infections. And platelets will clot the blood and prevent excessive bleeding. And while coming to blood vessels, there are different types of blood vessels: arteries, veins, blood capillaries. While coming to arteries, arteries carry oxygenated blood from the heart to different parts of our body, and they have thick elastic walls to withstand high pressure. The pulmonary artery is an expression because it carries deoxygenated blood. Okay, we all think and we all will learn that arteries carry oxygenated blood, like that we will learn. But here pulmonary artery is an exception because it carries the deoxygenated blood. Okay, you have to learn the variations, which artery carries oxygenated blood, which artery carry oxygenated blood. This is how you have to learn. And while coming to veins, veins carry deoxygenated blood from the body back to the heart. Okay, it will carries the deoxygenated blood towards the heart. Okay, not from the heart to body parts. From the body parts it will collect and it will carries towards the heart. And they have thin walls and walls to prevent the backflow of the blood. What are the valves? There are 4 valves that present in our heart, and it will prevent the backflow of our blood. And the pulmonary vein is an expression. Okay, we will think vein will carries the deoxygenated blood, but the pulmonary vein is an expression because it will carries the oxygenated blood, right? While coming to transportation of materials, okay, while coming to transportation of materials, oxygen is carried. How the oxygen is carried? It will carried by the hemoglobin. Where it is will present? Hemoglobin is in a pigment that present in our blood, right? Present in the red blood cells. Why the blood is in red color? Due to the presence of hemoglobin pigment. And oxygen is carried with the help of red blood cells, and carbon dioxide is transported mainly in the dissolved form in plasma. And digested food is transported by the plasma. The food that we eat will be digested, right? Digested, and it will carried with the help of this plasma. And waste products are transported to the kidneys for the removal. The waste products will be carried towards the kidney because the kidney will filter the waste products and will remove out from our body. And transportation in plants. How the transportation process will be happen in plants? There are 2 vascular tissues we learn. I initially told about the vascular tissues. Further we will learn in our class, right? What are the vascular tissues here? There are 2 important vascular tissues that present in the plant, helps in the transportation of food materials or the minerals or the waters. What are the 2 vascular tissues here? One is xylem, another one is phloem, right? And the transportation in plants necessary. Why it is necessary? Every living organism need every important process like transportation, excretion, digestion, transpiration, transportation, right? And this transportation is necessary for the plants to move water and minerals and food also. Okay, they need every water, minerals and food for their survival. And plants do not have a pumping organ like our heart. Okay, they don't have any pumping organ like heart, but how they are supplied, how the water is supplied, how the minerals are supplied, how the phloem is supplied, only due to the presence of these vascular tissues. Okay, these vascular tissues will supply the food, will supply the minerals, and they will supply the food materials, water the plant needed. And they use specialized tissues for transportation. What are the specialized tissues here? The specialized tissues are vascular tissues. While coming to the phloem, okay, while coming to xylem, see here students, xylem conducts, it is a conducting tissue in the plants. It will carries water and dissolved minerals. Okay, it will carries only the water and dissolved minerals, not the food. Okay, remember xylem function is to carry water and dissolved minerals from the absorbing from the soil with the help of roots and root hairs to the leaves and to other parts of the plant. And the movement of water in xylem is in only upward direction, hence we call it as an ascent of sap, right? Only the upward direction will be happen here. The movement of water will be only in the single direction, hence it is in the upward movement. And while coming to transpiration, helps in the upward movement of water. Okay, xylem will be xylem will helps in the movement of water. It will helps in the transportation of water throughout the plant. Hence it will happens from the absorption of water from the soil and absorption of minerals from the soil with the help of roots. Okay, roots and root hairs, and it will supplies through the whole plant body in the upward direction, not in a bidirectional, in the upward direction, in a unidirection. While coming to phloem, students, phloem is a conducting tissue that transports food prepared in the leaves. Okay, where the food materials are prepared in the leaves. Leaves are called as kitchen house of the cell, kitchen house of the plant, right? It is called as kitchen house of the plant. Leaves are prepare the food materials, hence the food material that stored in the leaves are transported to other parts of the plant with the help of this vascular tissue called as phloem. And this is transported to all parts of the plant including roots, stems, fruits and seeds. The movement of food in phloem is in bidirectional. Remember, while coming to xylem, it is in upward direction, it is in a unidirection. But while coming to phloem, it is a bidirectional. It will supplies food to the roots as well as it supplies food to the fruits, roots, stems, everything that present, every part that present in the plant. And while coming to transpiration, the importance of transportation, see here students, transportation requires, okay, supplies the oxygen and nutrients to the cells. It will supplies oxygen as well as nutrients to the cells that present in our body, because cell is the basic unit. Okay, cell is the basic unit of every living organism. So the oxygen and the nutrients are everyone supplied to the cells. And it will remove the waste products from the cells, and it maintains the internal balance of the body, and it helps the plants to grow and prepare the food material efficiently. This is what about the importance of transportation. And excretion is a life process by which organisms remove harmful and unwanted waste products from their bodies. Excretion is another life process. Okay, it is another important life process that happens in our every living organism. Excretion is nothing but the removal of the waste materials or the unwanted materials that present in our body, right? Let us see how this excretion process will be happen. And differences between excretion and ejection, we have to learn and we have to see. Ejection also the removal of the unwanted and material, and while coming to excretion also removal of unwanted and waste material. They both are giving same sense, but they are different from each other. Let us see how they are different from each other. While coming to excretion, it is the process of removal of metabolic waste. Okay, they are the metabolic waste products produced inside the body cells. The removal of waste metabolic products that present inside the body cells is called as excretion. And while coming to ejection, what is the process of ejection here? The function and the process of ejection is removal of the undigested and unabsorbed food that present in the digestive system. While coming to excretion, that present inside the body cells, and while coming to ejection, that present in the digestive system. Okay, the food materials, undigested food materials, unabsorbed food materials removed from the digestive system is called as ejection. And the removal of waste, metabolic waste products inside the body cells is called as excretion. This is the quite differences between excretion and ejection. And excretion involves organs like kidneys, lungs, while ejection involves the digestive tract. Okay. And excretion in humans. In humans, excretion is carried out by the excretory system. How the excretory process will be happen in humans? How the excretion process will be happen in humans? due to the presence of excretory system. Okay, the excretory system helps in the filtering of blood and removing of the waste substances from our body, that those are present inside our body are removed from our body with the help of this excretion process, like filtering our blood. Okay, the waste products that present in our body are removed with this process. And it also helps in maintaining water and salt balance in our body. It also maintains the salt as well as the water that present in our body. The parts of the human excretory system. What are the parts of the human excretory system? Every organ, every system have its parts, right? Digestive system has its parts, circulatory system has its parts, and while coming to excretory system also has its parts. Let us see the main parts of the human excretory system. The parts are here: kidneys, ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. These are the important parts that participates in the human excretory system. While coming to kidneys, okay, the kidneys are a pair of bean-shaped organs. They are a pair of, see here, they are a pair of bean-shaped organs located on either side of the backbone. We all think where the kidneys are present, we are think that front of our stomach, the side of our stomach, they are present, we will think. But while coming to kidneys, they are located on the back side, okay, they are located on the backbone. They are located either side of our backbone. And these kidneys filter the blood continuously, okay, they will filter our blood continuously. If they stop to filter the blood, what will happen? Our kidney will get damaged, right? Our kidney will get damaged and the purification of blood will not happen, and we have to go under dialysis, right? It may cause a threat to our life also. So the kidney's function is to filter the blood throughout our life. And they remove the nitrogenous wastes such as urea from the blood, and they also help in the regulating the amount of water as well as salts in our body. Right, students? And while coming to the next part, ureter. Ureters are the narrow muscular tubes. They are the narrow muscular tubes that connect each kidney. Right? See here, they will connect each kidney to the urinary bladder. Okay, urinary bladder, it is the temporary storage of the urine. It is the part, and they carry urine from kidneys. Okay, the filtered unwanted material, okay, liquid like urine is carried from the kidneys to the urinary bladder, and the movement of urine through ureters occurs by the peristalsis. See, in peristalsis movement, where we learned in our digestive system, and as well as we also learned in the trachea like respiratory system, and now we are learning in the ureter also, right? And with the help of peristalsis movement, the urine will passes from the region of ureters, okay, through the ureters. And urinary bladder, while coming to the organ urinary bladder part, urinary bladder is a muscular sac that stores the urine only for temporarily, right? It's not for permanent, it will store urine for temporarily, and it can expand to store in urine until it is excreted, okay, until it is removed from our body. It can expand its bladder to store the urine content. And while coming to bladder, it is full. When the bladder is full, it will give some nerve signals to our brain. It will send some signals to remove from our body that urine. It will send some signals to the brain, and after that we will remove that urine from our body. And while coming to urethra, right? Urethra is a tube that carries urine. Okay, what is the function of the urethra? Urethra will carries the urine from the urinary bladder to the outside of our body. Okay, the function of the urethra is to carry out the urine, the unwanted material from our body. And the release of urine through the urethra is called urination. Okay, what we will call urination? Urination is nothing but the release of urine from the urethra coming outside from our body is called as urination. While coming to the nephron is called as the functional unit of kidney. We all call cell as the fundamental and basic functional unit of our body, as well as nephron is called as the structural and functional unit of the kidney, because it is the main thing that will performs to purify the blood. Like each kidney contains millions of nephrons, not 1, 2, 3 or hundreds. Millions of nephrons are present in each kidney, right, students? And these nephrons are responsible for the formation of urine. They will purify the blood and they will help in the formation of urine. This is how urine is formed, and the nephron is performed in the filtration of blood, and kidneys, the other parts like urethra will help in the removal of urine. And while coming to the structure of the nephron, let us see here students, the structure of the nephron, it consists of a cup-like shaped structure called Bowman's capsule. It have a cup-like shape called Bowman's capsule. Inside this Bowman's capsule, there is a network of blood capillaries. Okay, blood capillaries like glomerulus. And this nephron also have a long coiled tube. It is also in the form of a long coiled tube. This tubule opens into a collecting duct. Okay, hence it opens into a collecting duct to collect the urine, and it will passes through the urethra, and the process of releasing of urine from the urethra region to outside of our body called as urination. And the process of urine formation, see here, urine is formed in the nephron through 3 main steps. What are the 3 main steps here? First one is filtration, right? Filtration occurs in the glomerulus. The blood filtration will be happens in the glomerulus part, and the blood is further filtered in the high pressure. How much pressure it needs? Low pressure? No, it needs high pressure to filter the blood, and water, urea, salts, glucose, and amino acids pass into the Bowman's capsule, and large molecules like proteins and blood cells remain in the blood. Right students, large molecules like what are the molecules that are required for our body, they are remained in our blood. Okay, the unwanted materials are removed outside of our blood. Right students? And reabsorption. What is the function and process of this reabsorption is? Reabsorption occurs in the renal tubules. Where it will occurs? It will occurs in the renal tubules, and useful substances like glucose, amino acids, salts, and water are reabsorbed in the blood. Okay students, and this glucose, important things are absorbed into the blood, and the waste materials will be removed outside of our blood. And this prevents loss of essential substances also. It will prevent loss of essential substances. The needed substances are not removed from our body. Only unwanted substances are removed from our body, and the needed substances are again get into our blood, and they are again passed to our body parts. And while coming to secretion, secretion occurs in the tubules, right? And extra waste substances and excess ions are added to the filtrate, and this helps in the maintain proper pH and salt balance to our body. And many of you asking about what is the mitochondria, right students? Mitochondria, we already explained about the mitochondria in our first, right? In respiration process, I already explained where the respiration process will be happen, like in the mitochondria cells, right? Mitochondria cells will release us the energy that required for our body. And how much energy is released? I already thought 38 ATP is released, right students? Mitochondria is also called as powerhouse of the cell. I already explained in the respiration process. Who are missed, once again I am teaching you all that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and it is also called as energy currency of the cell. Right students, anyone have any doubt? While coming to the urine, urine is a yellowish liquid waste. Okay, how it will appear? It is a yellowish liquid waste, and it contains urea, excess water, salts, other waste substances also. And normal human urine does not contain any glucose or proteins because they are the wanted materials to our body. They are required materials, essential materials for our body. While coming to other excretory organs, what are the other excretory organs beside this excretory system? We can find here like lungs. Beside lungs, we can say that some skin. Okay, skin is also comes under other excretory organs. Okay, and lungs removes the carbon dioxide and water vapor during exhalation, and skin also removes the excess water and salts that present in our body in the form of sweat. Okay, how they will remove from our body? In the form of sweat. And the liver converts toxin ammonia into less harmful urea. And while coming to the excretion process that happens in plants, how the excretion process that happens in plants, in our human body, we learned about excretion, how it happens due to the functions of different types of organs participated, and they filtrate the blood, they remove the unwanted material from our body. And while coming to excretion that happens in plants, like plants also produce waste materials because they are also living organisms, right students? And they are also, yes, it is recorded. Akshat, it is also recorded. You can see after the recording session also from the beginning, I already explained about the mitochondria and the energy currencies that release from our body during respiration process. Okay, Akshat Singh, right? And while coming to excretion process that happens in plants, plants also releases different types of waste products, waste materials, and plants do not have a specialized excretory system like us. Right? They do not have a specialized excretory system like us, hence they releases the waste materials in the form of gaseous, in the form of gaseous wastes, like in the exchange of gaseous exchange like oxygen and carbon dioxide. These are removed through stomata. Okay, when the gases are exchange happening of gases in the plants, in the same time the waste materials also removed from the stomata region in the form of gases. Right students, this is how the waste materials are removed from the plant. And excess water is also removed through transpiration. The development or the production of water that in the plants will also removed through transpiration process. Some wastes are stored in the leaves, bark, fruits and seeds also. Okay, how we can find these are the waste materials released from the plant. They released in the form of gums, resins and lactics. We will find like gummy, like sticky like substances that are appeared on the top surface of the bark of the trees. Okay, these the sticky substances or the gummy like substances that released from the plants or the trees are the excretory waste products. Okay, these are the waste products of the plants. And when coming to importance of the excretion, what are the importance of excretion here? Anyone have any idea, students? What are the importance of excretions? I am waiting for your responses. Get connected, students. What are the importance of excretion? Till now we learned about the excretion process. Okay, let me know the some important points about excretion process. Like Suchi, Akshat, Muhammad, what are you doing? Let me know the importance of excretion. Okay, let us see the importance of excretion here. Excretion removes like harmful substances, not the needy and essential substances in our body. They will remove only the unwanted substances, and it will help in the maintaining of water balance also. Okay, they will remove the water. It will also help in the maintaining of water balance, and it helps in the maintaining of salt balance as well as they will maintain the salt balance, and it will prevent the damage to cells and organs, and it will keep the internal environment stable. This is how the importance of excretion. Okay, this is all about the importance of excretion process. And anyone have any doubt regarding to the excretion process, students? Importance of excretion process. Okay, let us see about the important PYQs here. There are some important PYQs that came in our before board exams. It is very reported question. I came here with repeated questions. Okay students, I brought here some important repeated questions, like some case questions like state one role of each of the following in the human digestive system. These are the questions they are frequently asking about. They will ask some statements or the role of each hydrochloric acid that present in our digestive system, and villi and anal sphincter lipase. They will ask to say some few words and the role and the functions of these particular organs that present in our human body. And which vessel carries oxygenated blood from lungs to the heart? Okay, these are the 1 mark questions asked mainly in the MCQs, right students? And while coming to the next one, in process of respiration, state the function of alveoli, Why breathing rate is faster in aquatic organisms than terrestrial? Okay, these are the statement questions. You have to think logically and you have to keep your answer in your own words, right students? But the answer should be in a correct way, right? It has to be in a correct and it should be related to the question also. And next one is mention raw materials required for photosynthesis. It is also a board question, frequently asked question. Raw materials, I already informed and notified in the raw materials when I am teaching about the raw materials. See here students, it is also asked in the board exam. Mention the raw materials required for photosynthesis, and they asked about the differences between respiration in plants and animals. Okay, these are the important questions, like what are the respiration process will be happen in plants and animals. While coming to animals, we learned about the aerobic and anaerobic respirations. Physical process is called as breathing. The respiration process that happens inside the cells is called as respiration. These are the things we discussed about. And as well as in plants also, the exchange of gases will be happen. This is called as transpiration and the respiration. So these are the things you have to write in a table form. Okay, differences they asked, not you have to write in a table form, not in a paragraph. And while coming to the next one, okay, write one function each of saliva and bile. Okay, what are the functions of saliva and bile that secretes in our digestive glands and digestive system? And explain the pathway of blood circulation in humans also. We have to make main focus on the circulatory system, because surely and pakka the question will be asked regarding to the circulatory system. So you have to do here students, you to score more in your question, you have to draw diagram. Okay, you have to label the parts, okay, correct labeling parts, and you have to draw the diagram in a correct way along with the answer. You can score more when you write this answer with showing some diagram pictures. And describe the structure and functions of the nephron. It is also very important question and it is frequently asked in every board exam. Right students, while coming to circulatory system and the nephron diagram also you have to learn and you have to draw this in your exam. Right? I hope everyone understood and enjoyed the classes. And anyone have any doubt, you can ask. Yes Suchi, it is for absorption. Okay, villi is the finger-like projection and specialized organ that present in the small intestine, and its function is to absorb the nutrients. We eat different types of food materials, and different types of food materials contain different types of vitamins, different types of nutrients, different types of proteins. Right? These are all absorbed with the help of this villi, and these absorbed nutrients will again send it to the blood. And this blood will pass throughout our body and it will supply everything to our body. Essential nutrients are supplied with the help of blood, which are absorbed with the help of villi. Okay Suchi, is there any doubt? Students, anyone have any doubt? HCl is an hydrochloric acid that will kill the harmful bacteria that present in our stomach region. Okay, we eat different types of foods. We don't know which bacteria is entering into our body, and this bacteria is also killed with the help of this hydrochloric acid. Right? Okay, thank you all, and I hope everyone understood and enjoyed the classes. If anyone have any doubt, let me know in the chat box. No one have no doubt? Right? Thank you all, and thank you for listening the class, and don't forget to subscribe and download the SISYA class app. Okay, thank you all. See you in the next class.